I'm not going to make this personal to racist
Versus
Nazi
watching
little
abortion
bitch
videos?
queen.
Well, I'm not watching that.
It seems like you might have gotten a little emotional. And that's really the crux of it all, isn't it? Getting emotional, becoming invested, getting angry and wanting revenge. Revenge against who? Well, revenge against those goddamn people that were disliking that video, that were tweeting at him, that were commenting about his actions and his viewpoints. Those fucking alt-righters, those race realists, just like their little Nazi bitch queen, Rage After Storm. They need to be taken down a peg. They need to be taught a fucking lesson. And who better to do it than Kraut and his posse of intellectuals? I'm talking high-tier academics, YouTube, scientists.
Most well-known and credentialed scientists of this YouTube community.
And so you can see how this one video by this one content creator can gain momentum, can snowball out of control, and motivate Kraut through all of the different ripple effects around it to set on a path of his own self-destruction. Everything he has done for the last 4 months is to get petty revenge at a perceived slight from a political group or those purporting to believe in a certain ideology. He was simply pissed off. And the things we'll be discussing in these videos, they're not just about past events. They pertain to things that are happening currently and are going to be happening in the future. You saw it yourself on the Andy Worski podcast. There were 2 people there that ended up in that Discord with Kraut. His 24-hour op Discord we'll be talking about next video. There was Kraut himself and Jeff Holiday. You know, it's crazy. Wasn't there somebody else? I mean, there was Kraut, yeah, and there was Jeff Holiday, but was anybody else in that call when all this shit started? When the very origin event that led to Kraut creating a Discord to go after people? Was there anybody else there aside from Kraut?
Oh, wait, what happened?
Andy, can you give me some information here?
We just finished Worski Live on the 55. Kraut was there, Chris, Jeff, Kasara, some black guy, Dave Cullen, and Base Mama.
Based Mama, of course. Based Mama from the Discord with Kraut and Jeff Holiday and all the other people running 24-hour ops. Based Mama who's running an event called Kilroy, an event that basically just invited people to have right-wing beliefs. You know, all those identitarians, those hateful alt-righters, people that don't align politically, which she likes.
Where did I skip votes to?
Like, race feminists? How about all you guys who don't want to do that? You just stay in your own area.
How weird and coincidental that she would be there at the birthing of Kraut's vendetta, and then also in the Discord, and then also making decisions about Kilroy, which somehow shit on people that are right-wing. That really makes me think. That'll be fun to dig into.
No, I haven't. I think I've seen it, but I haven't watched it in a while.
Because I'll tell you, I'm here for the fucking laughs. And what's coming up next is some of the cringiest fucking shit from so many people. It's mind-blowing. This originally was going to be one video, but these autistic fucks can't cool it off for like 5 minutes. It's just fucking day after day of golden quotes. I can't even go over a list of the shit that's coming up. We've got YouTube scientists, we've got people getting cucked. It's some crazy shit. So allow me to introduce you to the concept of a new type of advent calendar. We're not celebrating baby Jesus. We're celebrating Spurs. We're gonna call this an autism calendar. Every day's a new surprise. So prepare yourself for part 2, my fellow academics.
I'm Pickle Rick!
Lake trout spawn in the lake, not in streams where they can be eaten by predators.
All of it, it's like fishing live bait. Look at that fat smallmouth.
Come to the inside of this rainbow trout here, and we're gonna make a cut along the back.
Jesus, we should have gassed all of them.
War has changed.
And in the end, your Nazi bitch queen, Rage After the Storm.
I'm on him! Come on, P! What, asshole? You really think I'd let it slide?
Sounds a little bit emotionally invested. A little bit pissed off. But let's say just him. Nobody else took part in this. It was all just, oh, wait a minute.
Because of the Rage After Storm thing. We made a video in response to us bullying Rage After Storm. And make no mistake, we bullied the shit after Rage After the Storm. We bullied her off social media. She took herself off that.
Oh boy.
A funky cock.
Look! It looks like they're a cult.
Oh, yeah!
Racism is not strong.
Adelaide with an attitude like that. What are you doing, Jeff? Now, for those of you just joining, and even for those that have watched part 1, there might be a few questions in your mind. Who the fuck are these people? And what exactly videos to try to sum it up as best I can. Now, part 1 was the motivation. You don't really need to know exactly who they are. You just need to know the underlying reason for what's about to happen. And if I were to sum that up as best I could, Kraut got angry at a girl on the internet and spent the next 6 months waging an online jihad against her. A highly academic effort. Now in part 2, I'm going to like you
Subscribe. Bye.
Rage After Storm happened to make a difference. Like, we had a weeks after that, she left the internet and he brought up the fact that he was basically declassified. This ended up raging. He became pissed off and he began to see Rage After Storm.
Do Jim and Sargon still hate each other? I think Jim doesn't really give a shit, but Sargon probably still. I don't know. Sargon probably wouldn't like gloat because Jim has cancer, but you never know. I don't put anything past Sargon.
And him! I'm gonna learn everything I can. I'm even gonna work with academics, highly intelligent, intellectual YouTubers.
Most well-known and credentialed scientists of this YouTube community.
And we're gonna kick the alt-right
Technically, JF is right.
So Kraut dedicates
I love that.
nearly a month of his time to honing his skill. He's studying
Yeah,
biology.
Jim doesn't. Yeah, Jim has. Well, okay, so.
Done a knockout study on nigger dick size.
We have done a knockout study.
No.
He's preparing himself for the final show.
Come on, limp dicks.
So Jim has said that he might have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. However, he has also stated that he got a second opinion from a doctor, and that doctor said that his previous doctor was was kind of retarded. So we just don't know. We just don't know. I hope that Jim doesn't have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, but if he does, I hope he gets better. And apparently just going through all this stuff has been really shitty because Jade is one of the the few pieces of information that we have on the thing is that Jade is really scared, and it's not been good for her because she wants to be with him when he goes to the doctor's office. He doesn't want that. He doesn't want her catching COVID. So, it's very sad, but he seems to be in relatively good spirits. And I think we're gonna that clip is just
Nearly studying biology. He's preparing himself for the final showdown. He's gonna release a video that's gonna make the alt-right beg for mercy. All those filthy race realists are gonna go crying home to mama because Kraut and T is here to drop some knowledge bombs on their ass.
Dude, just talk to my fucking scientist.
Or at least that's what he had hoped was going to happen, which turned out to be the opposite of reality. His very first video wasn't too well received, and almost immediately people began to reply to it. They were looking at some of the finer details of the argument that he presented. One man in particular seemed to catch Kraut's ire.
The K-type sexual reproduction strategy is distinctively mammalian.
No, the K-type reproduction strategy is not distinctively mammalian. There are plants, Kraut, that are K-type. What the fuck are you talking about?
the male does not remain with the female. The pregnancy is very short. With the female...
Brown trouts do not get pregnant. Did you just say the pregnancy is very short?
happens through the trout swimming upriver to mate. The male does not remain with the female. The pregnancy is very short.
The pregnancy is very short. Crap. Brown trouts don't get pregnant.
Along with the Frenchman, there were others that made videos that pissed crowd off. This didn't deter him. Remember, he's on a holy crusade to teach these people a lesson. So he decided he wasn't going to just double down.
Yeah, crowd's a liberal.
Down. He was quadrupling down on the autism by creating an honest-to-God.
Oh, you know what's really funny though?
War Ruth.
You know what's really funny though?
Don't take it to heart.
Um. I really hope we get to play as her. She's really hot in like a evil bitchy way. I really hope she becomes a playable character. But Sprout like has a massive hate boner for Shoe on Head, because Shoe on Head's been able to like ingratiate herself into the same community that that Kraut wants to, and she's been able to do it successfully, and he's just like spurging out that she's managed to do this because you know, he's an internet racist. He's internet racist. It's been very funny. Also, I fucked up and I pressed the wrong support side.
To wage jihad against people that were laughing at him. He was already angry enough about Rage After Storm. He was angry enough about the backlash he got from it. But now he's got a fucking Frenchman asking him where the pregnant trout are. He couldn't handle that shit. He couldn't stand being mocked. And so he sets about creating the Academy.
Oh yeah, she sucks massively.
They're on their last...
Only the finest of individuals. Look at these accredited YouTube scientists. Do you see the parentheses? Can you handle that high-level intellect? Oh God, I'm gonna need to huff a few here just to be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with these giant fuck yes. Oh, breathe deeply. They're YouTube scientists. So one subjects of study was this Harvard of the internet, focusing its attention on. Those are just people of interest. I recognize some of these names. They're getting added on and taken off. I mean, you've got Alt Hype, you've got Black Pigeon Speaks, David Cedarwood, Red Ice TV, Warren Southern, Millennial Woes. You know, I recognize these names. They all have something in common. I can't quite put my finger on it. But, you know, that's harmless. It's not like they called it targets or something. Like it was some weird internet mafioso hit list that a bunch of autistic internet spurgs compiled together for some weird fucking vendetta. Oh wait, they totally did. From Waz Lee. Hey dude, could you rename the target section of the Discord to something like people of interest or something? If this group leaks, which it will because they always do. That's a little bit of irony. Having a section labeled targets isn't a good look. Crowd. Okay. Hey bro, I was just wondering, could we possibly rename that list you made from people we want to fucking murder their bodies?
But yeah, Red Ice has been a thing for a while. Shoe on Head really bald, probably.
Really locking shit down tight, bro. Really keeping a fucking leash on things, aren't you? This is about as well done as your biology. Okay, I understand. So you've got a Discord full of potentially unstable academic intellectual YouTubers with a real fucking interest in vendetta. What's the German mafia here gonna do with it?
Choose to fuck on the skeptics in the ass.
Side-by-side videos of these
Gross.
You'll see by the rating that not only do the likes start to peak,
wow, like that.
dislikes overtake, meaning even the audience which is officially on his side. So they just didn't want to watch it anymore. I'm sure that negative reaction didn't adversely affect the disabled individuals. not like they created operations, like it was World War II or something. Oh, never mind. Yeah, they actually did that. Let's look at some of the
Yeah, I actually
24-hour
have that
ops the
disorder
Brain Trust
too.
here came up with. One of the intellectual elites, a chemist.
The disorder where you like pull out your hair. I think I have that, but, or at least I've been. My parents thought I had it. A psychologist or whatever, because I have this really bad tendency to like pinch parts of my hair and start twisting it. And sometimes, like back in the day, I would pull it out, sort of like subconsciously, and I stopped doing that. I have stopped myself from doing that. But if my hair gets too long, I will inevitably like start twisting it again, which is why I keep my hair like really short, because if it gets too long, one, it gets too hot, and two, like I'll start twisting it and pulling it. But I don't do that anymore. I don't have any like bald spots or anything, thank goodness.
By the name of Zabby came up with
Oh, and I will say this, I've never eaten my hair before in my life, so I don't have that compulsion, thank goodness.
Operation Red Mountain. Goal: defeat the opposition false information of the movements or acts of the Allied forces to gain the trust of the opposition and thereby cause information havoc and distress. Execution: the construction of a shadow server where archived, staged conversations and information will be posted. A SOC account controlled by the Allied forces will collect evidence on the shadow server and approach the opposition setting on stage, ending in the desired total control of the opposition information. Stage 1: construction of the shadow server. Stage conversations prior to the next media launch. Stage 2: the collection of evidence on the proper channels and greenlit for dispersion. Stage 3: the approach of the opposition by insider forces, trying to feed useless information that was cleared in Stage 2, gaining trust. Stage 4: feeding false information to cause minor disturbances, using false information that is too good not to be used, and observing the effect on the opposition media. When cleared by proper channels, advance to Stage 5. Stage 5: feeding information of a high-risk nature, false doxes of Allied forces, false nudes, etc. Desired effect: full control of trusted opposition informational networks, effective use of counter-espionage tactics to puppet opposition forces, the oppositional informational networks. It's a French guy that streams on YouTube and laughs at people talking about pregnant trouts is being treated like he's the fucking Axis powers in World War II. But how deep does this autism go? How committed to this are they? We'll have Crowd explain it. Proposal 1: I am a dissident scientist and would like a conversation. Proposal 2: set up fake alt-right YouTube channels and have it slam me. Proposal 3: I am a biology student. Proposal 4: I am a biochemist student. This is so fucking retarded. Crow, what the fuck are you doing? I don't even know if I can read this without a deviant art symbol in the background. This is some will you RP with me :3 shit. Young woman, mid-20s, specializing right now in biochemistry at the University of Southampton. Name: Tilly Law. December 30th, 1989 is her birthday. Born in Guildford, hasn't been there since childhood. Parents live in Wickham. Wickham Church of England Primary School, studying biology for 3 years since 2015. Lab assistant from 2010 to 2014. Student travels from 2014 to 2015. Backpacked around the UK. Gotta throw some small details in there, you know, in case that ever comes up in conversation. Hello, Axis forces. I'm a biochemist student named Tilly Law, and I'm defecting from the Allied forces. You can trust me. I backpacked around the UK. You know, now might be as good a time as any just to take a step back and really think about what you're looking at. Look at the reaction they have to somebody laughing at their stupidity or having a different opinion. Look at the detail They're running operations. Who LARPs like this and doesn't drink bleach immediately afterwards? But if that wasn't autistic enough, they have to take the puppeteering to the next level. Let me introduce you to the convoluted plan, Operation Mince.
That's it!
Now this
You're
is
mine
this
now!
is some wild shit. Their plan, if I were to sum it up, reading this just ridiculous fucking document, is to leak the idea that Thunderfoot or Sargon are going to make video. That is the information going to accidentally release this information. And then from there, essentially what they want to have happen is the alt-right react, gets angry for some reason. And because the alt-right gets angry, now Thunderfoot and Sargon actually end up making the video. You know, Thunderfoot put up a video talking about being invited into this Discord.
Discord, and I think people which have never heard it before. I mean, some sort of group chat type, which was getting into quite a bit of an ask at that point, because, you know, now I actually had to do something. Anyway, so...
Morning, Channy.
Just what we needed.
Probably crashed my computer.
You're pressing up the wrong fucking mouth!
Yeah, Channy, you can elucidate chat. They were talking about you before. What's the reason why we can't date ever? Just tell chat the reason you told me that we can never date. Because they need to know.
Because they don't give a shit about it. They don't care if you're scientists. They don't care if you actually do shit. Hey!
Yeah, it's going sponge.
Goddamn stupid that they can puppeteer you into doing what they wanted. They were going to use driving numbers to their benefit. They didn't give
Me over here!
fucks
Could use
about
help!
what you thought. That's what Operation...
Thunderfoot's a bit of a spurg too, though.
Are you starting to get a handle on the wild shit going on in this group? Here's the public presenting face these people give us. That they're...
Find them! Me! Try not to get hurt!
They come up with fake doxes, fake accounts, discredit the other side, and then in their own hands without actually informing them of what their fucking plan is. And that's
Stay with me, me!
Was Lisa. Bad politics. Not it is bad happening, but it's bad politics. Congress says the same fucking thing. It was stupid to contact the not because I care about Rage After Storm, but because I foresaw the situation as a possibility. It's used as ammo. Well, I think the best action is to simply demand.
I love the new
evidence.
clothes on my avatar. Well, thank you, Channy. We're
By the
celebrating
way,
the Christmas
Jeff
spirit
Holiday,
today.
Aren't you a neurology student? With all these intellectual heavyweights, all these YouTube scientists, these internet academics, I figure one of them would have rubbed their brain cells together to come up with a few questions about the morality of what's going on in this morally righteous.
Yeah, last night was
anti-race
pretty
realism
funny. That guy's such a
standard.
spurg.
You won't just have to deal with the alt-right. You'll have to possibly also deal with AIU's scumfucks. These guys have been taking every single fucking opportunity to get at me. I've seen them siding with Sean and Jen, Edgy Sphinx, Christy Winters, and now with the alt-right at large. Whoever currently is trying to come for me, AIU scumfucks follow suit, and also go after those I work with. And be warned, AIU scumfucks are probably the single most vile, reprehensible, and disgusting fucking thing on YouTube. Now they're talking
Why
about...
does Ralph not like Atheism is Unstoppable?
Listen to that vitriolic hatred they have for him. The worst thing on YouTube. Now compare that statement to this one. Think we could maybe use that to get Devin to go after Edgy? That would be fun. So on the one hand, they're saying that AIU is the worst fucking thing on the internet. And on the other hand, they want to use him to their own benefit. Just like they wanted to use Thunderfoot. Earlier, I showed
doesn't AIU stream on here?
videos and how the dislike is free as time goes on.
Yeah, Atheism is
The very last
Unstoppable.
of those videos that he had done ended up getting flagged. Now, multiple people mirrored that video, but it was assumed that the alt-right was behind it. Now, why that is, I can't tell you, because from what I've seen was them actually enjoying watching his videos. Multiple people love to pick them apart. If anything, it was a test around them, because they like to laugh at how fucking horrible they were. Nonetheless, Cloud and his friends, liked his content, made all...
If I ever thought about doing a podcast, Chase said that he wouldn't mind doing it. We're gonna try doing a commentary track on the Monster Hunter movie because we're big Monster Hunter fans, and
Not now! Not today!
maybe see if our dynamic works out well enough for something like that. I don't know what I would really do for a podcast though. Like, I have no clue. I'm down for it. I just don't really know what I would do it on. And you know, it's just sort of like the meme. It's like, oh yeah, this is what we need is another podcast. You know what I mean?
Right.
How terrible it was that video was played. That playing that video, it's an awful fucking thing. Fast forward just a little bit, and JF releases a video with audio that was leaked from Crowd's server, making a video, and what do you know? That video gets playing down. Now, what's the reaction from Crowd is assorted academics? Well, first you have the public statements. We didn't flag that, but if it did get flagged, it was illegal. Those were leaked audio recordings. You don't have a right to play them for anyone. A bit of a difference from what was being said in the Discord. I told you, for fuck's sake, report that stream. Now follow that up with this. An admission from the admin and crowd.
They're on their last
Yes, I will be doing a Christmas stream.
Abhi.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, let me just lower your audio just a smidgen bit loud. Okay, Abhi, you were the admin of that server.
I was an admin since day one.
Come on! I'm
yeah,
right
something
here!
that you told me out on as well.
Yeah.
And I
So it goes from, we didn't do it, but we're glad that it happened, to we should totally do it. And yeah, we actually did do that. But I think the example that personally gets me the most about this sort of behavior that repeatedly happens in his internet war room would be in relation to the New York Times report.
Wait, he can talk?
Now, as Kraut said, on a live stream, this lady had contacted him and he had invited her into his Discord server.
I mean, one thing that JS brought up, which is like the sleaziest thing that he got out.
I think Andy's just whatever he is at the moment. Andy's a little. Andy has like principles, but Andy's not like a super political
since
guy.
He brought this up in a weird fucking way. I might as well address this as well. She was mainly interested, not really as much as in me, as she was into Joe. She wanted to know the people I worked with, so I introduced her to him, and I invited her into the server. I gave her her own thread, and then I asked all the biologists, chemists, and psychologists, and physicists, and what we not all have already, to write a summary about the work. Then I asked why they do this. Then I asked all the YouTubers in the server to write a summary of what they are and why they do this and that.
Well, that's all well and good. What's the problem with the New York Times? She just wanted to talk to people. Look at them all giving answers. They're just giving some basic background information. She just wants to know about their fight with the alt-right in relation to race realism. And Kraut's more than happy to help her. I mean, that's not hypocritical at all. Oh, fucking wait a second. Wait a second. I seem to remember something that happened not that long ago. I think it was in this fucking year, wasn't it? Oh yeah, PewDiePie getting his ass fucked by every mainstream media outlet. Boy, it sure would be funny if the New York Times played a part in that. Oh shit, they fucking did! Well, that doesn't mean anything. It's not like Kraut actually made a video where he denounced them doing...
That's
oh
cool.
Fuck, he did do that.
Men testing boundaries in the angriest corners of the internet from that cancerous, repugnant cesspit known as BuzzFeed. YouTube's monsters, PewDiePie and his populist revolt from the New York Times. The articles all have the same undertone to them. YouTube is infested with Nazis, racists, and other vile scum, and it is time to strangle YouTube's creators by cutting down on the financial assets available to them.
At least he didn't try to oh fuck, he did try to boycott them. That's some nice payback, Kraut. That's some really fucking great moral grandstanding on your part. So let me see if I get this straight. You want to boycott the New York Times because you think they report unfairly about YouTubers. You go on a fucking tirade about it. PewDiePie retweets you for defending him. And yet, when the opportunity comes to you to use that very weapon that was used against him against somebody you don't like, you invite that slimy fuck into your server to help her. And you can look at this lady's timeline to see exactly what she was talking about around that timetable. Look at the alt-right. Terrible goddamn Nazis. Go look at that article and read it. And then try to plead ignorance with me that you didn't know exactly what she fucking wanted to do. Oh, the New York Times is terrible. Oh, it's coming after PewDiePie. We need to fight the power. So what is it? Do you really have that opinion, Kraut, or did you just want to suck his dick to get some fucking subs out of it? Listen to your ass talking to Naked Abe about how you responded to a Vice News reporter in relation to all of this.
Hello, Mr. Colwyn. No, I am not with the alt-right, and I've spoken out against the alt-right. I've decided to come in support of PewDiePie together with the overwhelming majority of the YouTube community because he has been a victim of an injustice. He has been slandered and his reputation dragged through the mud by a big media outlet on the basis of a lie. The actions by the Wall Street Journal have been slanderous and flat out wrong, and anyone with a basic understanding of ethics should be able to see this for what it is. I also believe that if this course of sleazy actions is allowed to continue unchallenged, it will result in a purge of YouTube by a new media platform, by an old, outdated media, namely the print media. What was done to PewDiePie could have just as well been done to everyone on this platform, and will probably be done to everyone on this platform if the Wall Street Journal is allowed to get away with this.
Oh, we YouTubers are getting branded. We're getting fucked over. It's terrible what the mainstream media is doing. They're not giving us a fair shake. Here, let me let the fucking New York Times reporter from the same outlet that did this shit to somebody I defended into my Discord server to do it to somebody else. Get fucked. What are you doing? What is this autistic shit? Okay, need to calm down a little bit. Getting a little bit heated. When you're knee deep in digging through this shit, it's hard not to come away with a bit of a stink. And the spurgery, it's been going for a week now, and it's multiplying and expanding. It's like a fucking forest fire on the internet. It won't stop, and there's so much of it, and I can't keep track of it all. We haven't even scratched the surface of it all yet. There's so much retardation going on that this doesn't even begin to cover it, and it's only downhill from here. It is only fucking downhill from here. So tune in for part 3 when we start talking about vibrating nipple clamps.
Oh boy.
And no, I'm not making that up.
We decided to kick it up a notch with a ball pit. Yahoo is right. Let's rock.
Who doesn't love a good trash fire? There's no better way to keep warm during those long winter months than by huddling up close and watching the combustion take place before you. And conventions, well, they fit the bill. Now, there are a myriad of them for almost every subject you could imagine. They come and go all year round, and every once in a while, once in a blue moon.
Yeah, Vosh has done a pretty good job of like snatching up has-beens or like, you know, former sort of like pretty, you know, okay people on YouTube.
It's
a pretty good job. Pretty good job on that.
A special kind of retard. I'm talking special ed levels of stupid to fuck a convention up before it even begins. Typically, the convention actually has to happen first before it can devolve into a shit show. But that's not the case with Kilroy, the free speech event. Everybody's been talking about it. All your favorite YouTubers are going to be there. It sounds like a fantastic idea, and for a while it was a fantastic idea, until the realization of what it was and what it would become started to fully hit people. The first cracks in the facade came from Tim Pool when on December 11th he tweeted this out to his followers. For those attending Kilroy in Phoenix this April, I am pulling out and will not be speaking any longer. Apologies to those looking to see me there. And he quickly followed this up with a little bit more of an explanation. They asked for a 16-month non-compete and a 3-year NDA. They were willing to negotiate on the non-compete, but not the non-disclosure agreement. They cited safety reasons for the 3-year NDA. Strange thing to ask, and I can't trust the reasoning for such an agreement. Now, Tim elaborated even more on this in a video he put up for the people that were coming to see him.
I was asked to sign a 16-month non-compete agreement and a 3-year non-disclosure agreement in order to participate in this event. I find those contracts very strange. I have a speaking agent. I have numerous contracts with United Talent. I speak at events all the time. In fact, this week in New York, I'm speaking at an event on technology. This is not standard. This is not normal. And I was not given an adequate reason as to why any of these provisions.
Well, it's okay, because TJ Kirk will always be the guy who stuck a banana
And
up
Tim
his ass.
wasn't alone. Other
Me,
people that were
anyway.
scheduled to speak said they had issues with the non-disclosure agreement as well.
Thing's a farce. I mean, the majority of the headliners there, actually all of them have spoken in various locations before. Never in my life, I mean, I've been given contracts, but I've never been given an NDA non-compete that spans several years to a 100-mile radius. I mean, that's cuckoo banana cakes.
Now, the big motivator for Tim as to why he put the tweets up and the video up was to explain to the people that might have pre-purchased tickets or donated money to come see him. He wanted to explain to them why he wasn't going to be there. People donated and were expecting to see me there. I'm obligated to inform them I will not be. People asked why I wasn't going, and I told them. I've kept a lot private here, but I'm willing to publish everything if people are not satisfied. Well, as it turns out, not everybody was
I'll be right
completely
back, chat.
satisfied.
Give me
In
like 2
particular,
minutes.
the organizer of the event. It isn't strange to ask. It's standard practice. I was clear that I'm not willing to risk the anonymity of dissidents whose lives are at risk for attending and speaking at Kilroy. Calling me out in public isn't going to compel me to bend on this. No one called you out. I'm obligated to inform people that thought I was going, that I will no longer be there. But it gets stranger still. One of the featured speakers on the Kilroy page, an account called Harambe Desserts, had this to say: Tim Pool is not an ally to ex-Muslims, and he is going around bad-mouthing and lying about Based Mama, who is an ex-Muslim too. On that fact alone and his lies, he is despicable. Hate though? He is just a stupid ass. Not worth hating at all. I don't know about that. All I see is people mocking an NDA that protects ex-Muslims. I mean, how much of an ass butt do you need to be? I don't trust that dude, Tim Pool, as far as I can throw him. He obviously is shady and selfish as anything for making a big deal out of the NDA. I'm fairly certain Tim Pool doesn't know who he's fucking with. Neither did I when I responded to this insane bullshit calling him a bad ally for having issues with an NDA contract, because I received this response: dude is in for a rude awakening with us. Oh yes. Don't ever fuck with ex-Muslims. You will regret it. Don't fuck with us. You're gonna regret it. I wonder what she meant by that.
You leave us alone, we'll leave you alone. You fuck our shit up, we'll fuck your shit up until you can't fuck our shit up anymore.
I'm a former Muslim, a former extremist, a former terrorist supporter.
Well, these sound like some stable and well-adjusted
what now?
individuals. I'm sure I'm just misreading that playful tweet as a threat. I can do a whole lot better for threats if you want. It can be a game. Well, I do love video games, so I couldn't pass that challenge up. And it looks like it was answered. Because yesterday, when I put up a tweet promoting this video and what the topic would be on, all of a sudden, from out of nowhere, a complete and utter coincidence, videos started getting flagged on my channel. That's rather strange. It's almost like somebody was attempting to shut the channel down, so this video couldn't go up. But why would they do that? What would motivate them to want to shut this particular video down? Oh, maybe it has to do with the fact that Based Mama was a part of Kraut's server, the server that was targeting people on the right side of politics. Could that have something to do with it? I mean, Based Mama was in there. She admits she was in there.
I'm gonna let you know right now, I got invited in, and then I just never left.
And good old Halal Desserts here, well, she was somewhat related to it as well. If you remember back when JF's video was flagged for playing audio that was leaked from the server Kraut had, she tweeted this out: I have no idea what I flagged. I hope it was real juicy. Ah ha 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 ha. So we have two individuals directly related to the Kilroy event, one of them the organizer of it, another her good friend and featured speaker at the event, both related to a server which was doing some rather underhanded things. And mysteriously, when I announce my videos coming out, I start getting videos flagged on my account. Really gets that fucking noggin jogging, doesn't it? But I guess I'm getting intellectually checkmated here. This is some 4D chess shit. I'm dealing with intellectual giants.
Because my IQ is extremely high. It is extremely frustrating to not only be an intellectual anomaly myself, which I guess 140 is above average or whatever.
Most well-known and credentialed scientists of this YouTube community.
But apparently that enormous IQ, it just wasn't enough. People began to either pull out or they were pushed out of the event. The list is so goddamn long that you'd have a better chance naming the people that are still coming rather than the ones that dropped out. Tim Pool, Dave Cullen, Faith Goldie, James Alsep, Andrew Torba, Brittany Pettibone, Millennial Woes, Nick Monroe, Andy Worski and Chris, Peter Sweden, Baked Alaska, Lauren Southern. The names go on and on and on. But that's just petty ego. I mean, that's what Mundane Matt told me. These people are just too full of themselves. That's the issue. And then, of course, Sargon dropped out. I haven't been following the recent drama with Kilroy too closely, but I'm going to pull out of it anyway. It seems to be
holy shit, the list of
I put
grifters.
$250 into it, but I don't expect to get that back. Fucking Sargon of Akkad with his goddamn ego issues, huh, Matt? Oh, I'm sorry, what's that? Did you change your position all of a sudden?
Matt, is Sargon being a drama whore for pulling out since you said this is mostly an ego?
With Sargon, I'm not too sure.
Oh! So would I do it? Would I do it? And I have
Andy, come on. Andy, come on.
Quick, somebody send this clip to V. He's always getting accused
did
of
he
being the
really?
Sargon of Akkad dick
Jeez.
rider. It looks like he's got a little
DM that to me,
competition
Infectious
for the
Slams.
job.
Maybe we'll
Well,
cover that
goddamn,
on the
that's
stream.
A lot of people getting kicked out or dropping out. But
I wanna
was
cover,
it all
like,
because of contracts?
Spurs.
Was it all because of the non-disclosure agreement and the non-compete that Faith Goldie and Tim Pool talked about?
Nice
well,
anime,
no, there
Pepe.
were
I got
whole
a
host
whole
other
bunch of
issues.
nothing and a
People were
copy of
complaining that
Lisa.
they weren't getting their emails answered. They were being ignored.
May the gotcha
We were
gods
getting
smile on
ignored.
you.
A lot of the concerns were getting ignored until it was put in front of the public.
Well, I'm sorry. That's not a fair representation. They weren't being ignored.
So I sent an email to Base Mama. I say, hi, some weird stuff is going on over there, y'all. What is going on? Oh, my buddy's getting disinvited. We can't talk about what we want to talk about. James now, his picture's gone. What's going on, guys? Phyllis is dead. And I get a response email that is completely blank from Base Mama's account. So what does that tell me? And I responded back to her. I said, hi, it's just so you know I got a blank email. Don't know if you intended to write something in it. But indeed, nothing showed up.
But
Did
that
you want?
can't be
Yes,
correct,
please.
because if you can hear
Either that or
from
just
Sister
DM it
Danger
to me on
and
Twitter
Face
or on
Mama, the two
Discord.
people that are working on the event, they never forget to respond to an email. They're professionals.
And I'm like, dude, I understand. Like, you don't even have to tell me. Like, I'm at that where, did I miss one? Did I miss one? Well, you know, you talk to me. I'm like maniacally checking to make sure I didn't accidentally not see somebody's email because I don't want to forget anybody.
I agree. Like, I kind of have this general policy of always be the last person to respond, right? That way the ball is never left in your court as having been dropped or whatever. But, like, always be the last person to respond.
She left my email unanswered.
Well, there's got to be more than just a few missed emails. Is there anything else going on, like, say, being lied to about the panels you can do?
I had pitched the idea for doing a panel on offensive comedy and where the line is and how we present ourselves online. Base Mama declined immediately.
Well, there must be a good reason. Andy Worski was told he couldn't do a panel on offensive comedy.
Like you,
say,
Infectious.
one of Base Mama's associates was already going to do it, and Andy can go fuck himself.
Foxy here.
Glenn gets called a Nazi when he's nothing like one. I mean, who cares? Like,
It's gonna be on
the
comedy
people who
channel,
say that are
and
generally
basically
like
just says, how,
borderline
you know,
schizophrenic.
This free speech and this offense culture is really kind of hampering comedy, where you can't be as free with it as comedy.
How's that digging feel, Andy? Probably similar to what James Alsop got when he was bent over and hit with this gem.
She said my speech on identitarianism was banned because it was a topic that she didn't want to bring up at the conference. This is, of course, contradicted by the fact that listed in the topic
You got
she
two
sent me
5-star
was a speech
weapons?
called The History of
You fucking
Identitarianism in
N-word.
Ireland.
I find it funny that there's
I
been
got
from the
4-star weapons.
because I won't entertain a panel on identitarian politics. I'll go ahead and tell you. Here's the reason why. And I told everybody this. We don't have time. We don't have the space. It's not on the agenda.
Listed in the topic sheet she sent me was a speech called The History of Identitarianism in Ireland.
It's just a kerfluffle. Come on. Everybody makes mistakes, and the super genius brain trust over here, they fucked up a little bit, but they're innocent fuck-ups. There's no ulterior motive behind any of it. It's not like this is one giant fucking scam that sucked in multiple groups
Linko's
of
not a
people.
Nazi,
That would be
unsubscribe.
ridiculous. I
He
mean,
is
listen
all
to Andy. He came up
Channy
with
has
this
that
idea
like
at
weird
VidCon.
like
It was our
Jewish
idea.
fetishization of
I
Nazis or
was
something.
one of the initiators.
Like,
of
oh
this
my
idea.
goodness,
It
yeah,
was
it's
me,
a flam.
Chris,
Tell
my
me
buddy
tell
who I
me
filmed
exactly
with,
what's gonna go
Failure,
down.
Rucka, and I think what's his name?
Oh.
Tanuki or Toki or something. Failure. What's his name? Starts with T. You know who it
Was Worski friends with
Yeah, well,
Rucka
Tanuki,
Rucka
okay,
Ali?
That's it. It was all of us, and we were all at that shrimp place during VidCon, and we were the ones who were like, "Oh, we should do our
Hello,
own
Rogue.
VidCon," where it's like.
No,
all of
Puck
us
Ray
and,
Gun
Say
is
again?
friends with them.
Solve your own
viewers and
problems,
stuff and
clean
talk
up your
about whatever
shit.
we want.
Nash
and
is
then
dead.
we were all
One
just
shit clean.
hanging out
Happy?
outside, and Sister Danger was there. We brought
Nash
it up
can't
to
deliver
her.
it
She's like,
anymore.
That's a great idea.
But
I've
if
done,
you ask
I've done
nicely,
these things
I might
before.
be able
Oh my
And then
God,
we spoke to
two of
Base
you guys at
Mama,
the same time
and
brought that
they,
up.
They sort of took a hold of that.
Well, isn't that wonderful? Based Mom is going to help Andy realize his dream to put on this idea for a convention. But wait a minute, though. That's not what Based Mama told Bunty King.
This has been in the works for quite a while. So
This thing with Rogue.
I'm just.
Let it go, maybe?
No,
Should I?
no, we're not
Not
doing
worth
that,
another goddamn
Channy.
minute
Oh
of your
God.
time.
3 years ago.
Let's go.
with Dave.
No, I was planning it with Kevin.
That's really strange. When I Google VidCon, it shows me that it ran from the 21st to the 25th, and the social media accounts for the Kilroy event went up after VidCon, which would seem to substantiate what Andy Worski is saying. Yet there's Based Mama telling Bunty King this is something she's been working on for 3 years. Well, that's a bit of an inconsistency. I mean, all she wants to do is help establish this event. Oh, wait, did I say event? I meant business.
Most NDAs are indefinite, so I put a 3-year limit on it because I'm like, well, that's plenty of time to establish our business model and streamline the process so other people can take Kilroy to their cities, you know, and do their thing, and like we can help them out with getting contracts and, you know, contracting with vendors and venues and doing all this shit. Like, I was like, yeah, that's cool.
One
Like,
bitter,
we had
cold
a fucking
bitch, that
plan. It
Rogue.
wasn't like we just
Think
pulled
she
this
might
shit
have
out of our
lost the
asses.
plot.
Yeah,
Mean to
let's
say she used to
franchise
be
that
sweet and
fucker out.
alluring?
Hey, let's take it even
Never
further. How
that.
about some trademarks
But
and
she's no
copyrights?
stranger to the
What
other
we,
end of
what
the
we
stick.
should do is
Think she might
trademark
need a nice strong shot.
our brand for Kilroy/Kilroy was here.
Hell, even throwing a few employment contract, I mean NDAs and non-disclosure agreements.
These contracts are the same as
Got your
going to employment, not the same.
No, no
I'm sorry,
offense.
I'm gonna really take
Come
that
on,
back
that's me.
because I
Sunset
already got
Motel.
raked over the pole.
That sounds like a recipe for success, but definitely
I know
not what
you're not
Andy
kidding.
Worski
I'm
and a whole
certain to
host
be
of other people signing up for this particular event thought when they signed up for it.
Okay, I arranged our
Oh
meeting.
God, I'm getting so sleepy
Let's do the deal
here.
and start
I'm
working
just
on
gonna
help.
stop thinking about
Agreed?
it. I don't want my ego to get in the way. Hey guys, let's go take a nap. Anybody else getting tired? I mean, all that matters at the end of the day
Sunset
is that
Motel,
business
what's
that
that?
gets taken care
A
of.
safe
So
spot.
when I go into these
It's not
places
far.
6 months ago, trying to secure spots,
6th Street
they're
not
like,
likely
we
to
want a
pull
deposit
anything.
now. So I
I've
took
driven
out
for
a
them
loan
before.
to put down the deposit.
Never had them do
So
anything
like I'm
strange.
into this shit
I'm
for like
hoping they know what's good for
$30,000
business.
already.
Oh,
Should
wow,
be
I didn't
fun.
know that. I don't think
Well,
anybody
yeah.
did that.
I must have misheard her. I could have sworn she just said that she took those loans out 6 months ago, which would have been in June, right after VidCon. No, clearly she meant 3 years ago. Fuck you, Andy Worski. You don't know what you're talking about. I know that look you're giving me. Take the fucking tinfoil hat off. These are all just amazing coincidences. You fucking conspiracy theorists with your crazy shit. I mean, sure, you could look at the timetable
I
and
need to
draw
really
some
work on my,
conclusions
like,
about what's
my,
really going on
my
here,
sets.
all the lies that we've heard, or all those other lies. Oh, did I mention all the other lies? Like the lies they told Tim Pool about the contract he was signing?
Thank you,
And
Channy. I
as I
appreciate it.
responded
You're a
to their
pretty
email,
cool
I
girl.
told
I like
them
you.
it was
You're a
insulting.
friend of mine.
To which they responded with an appeal to
We
popularity.
need to play Team Fight
Everyone has
Tactics
signed
again at
this
some
before
point.
you. That's a lie. A lot of the speakers didn't even know this agreement existed. No, they certainly did not sign this before me.
Or the whole thing about having to remove people because there just wasn't enough room. I'm sorry, Baked Alaska. We need to trim the fat a little bit. It's too popping off in here for you to stick around. We got too many speakers showing up.
And we still have approximately a week's worth of guests that we're going to continue to roll out, and we're still signing people, okay? Then we immediately took Baked Alaska
here.
off the website
Let me do the
because we were already overbooked.
Sensing trouble?
okay?
You
No.
are saying
At least I don't
tomorrow
think
you have
so.
a guest announcement. Yet when allow Alaska, you said
We do.
that there was a scheduling conflict.
Yeah, you guys
because
are
you were
overbooked.
already full.
Hey, boss.
And now
Anna.
you're still adding people
How's Ned?
to the roster
Doesn't seem to
when
be
you already
answering
told
his
people
phone.
that you
Don't
were
call
overbooked.
him anymore. There's no need. No.
That's
got
not a good
balls,
one. That was a
girl.
lie that was caught in the very same
What's
fucking
this?
stream later on.
A
And in
bonus
other
of some
streams
sort?
too.
I'm sure he'll put together an email
We
for
work
you.
together.
Oh, really? Is
scheduled out?
Nice.
Change tunes like you change clothes.
No,
girl.
we intentionally
There.
left a good chunk open.
First class merch.
It's so weird. It feels like everything about this event might be completely fucking fake. And it only gets worse if you look at the timetable.
Dude, Anthony
When Dave Cullen
Fantano
put up
is
the
such a
initial
piece of
fundraising
shit,
video
dude.
for the
everything's in
Kilroy
order?
event on November
Check your
16th.
account.
It only took a matter of 3
Should be
weeks for them
pretty
to hit the
flush in a
official goal
couple
of
minutes.
It's been a pleasure.
$85,000.
But I
That's
believe
fucking
Rogue's the
impressive.
one who
That
was
is a
to pay
lot
me.
of
You're
money
all right.
December 6th. We've raised
Think
all the
you
money
earned
we
a
need.
tip.
And that's just
Let's
the amount
roll.
listed up on the website. We're not even talking about PayPal here.
You can pledge anonymously without buying a ticket.
That went well.
You can give
on.
any amount that you want.
Let's get a drink.
You know, it's not a big deal. Like, I gotta tell you, I appreciate everybody who's buying tickets, but I appreciate more people who can't be there that are still supporting it. Like,
Raffin's
to me,
wife,
that's so
6th
awesome.
Street's pleased.
You've got all these big
Good day
It
for
runs on
Hannah Palmer.
potatoes of computers, though, Channy. If you ever get a computer, it's pretty fun to
and all these
play.
people are paying enormous amounts of money to meet people they want to see in real life. If you look at the rewards on the website, that's clearly listed. And yet, strangely, so very strangely, a majority of people start to run into issues. It starts with Baked Alaska, who was up on
You
the
still have
website
a
for a
chance
day
to
or
piss
two,
me off.
just long enough for his followers to donate money, but not long enough for him to figure out what the fuck is going on. In the end, Baked, you got used like a puppet. Just like everybody in this situation got fucked over.
Gonna puke.
You've all been bamboozled. You were a nice shiny object to wave out in front of retards to get the money to come in. And then once the money came in, suddenly we have issues. Panels aren't showing up.
Take a wild
Emails
guess.
aren't going out. Ridiculous
Everything good with
contracts
you?
are being forced on
Those
people.
bozos come
It's
around
almost
again?
like they wanted to use YouTubers for marketing.
This is a very important concern right here. Is a lot of the donations were made under the promise.
Yeah,
that-
don't
under the
cross
promises
Sam
that
high.
certain
Don't
guests would be appearing.
don't
and you put
like
the guest list up
acquiesce to
there,
the
and
mob.
people
You'll never
saw who was
you'll
on that
never live it
list
down.
and donated to see certain people, and then as people start pulling out, and as you know,
Rosa.
all these
2 of 'em.
complications are happening.
So that package for Street.
Doesn't it seem
What
like
was it?
the donations
You didn't peek?
and the event
Falloperidol.
itself
Drugs
was
for the
made
cyber
under
psychos in our midst.
a,
They
you know,
trade in
false promotion?
Yes.
I wanted to
They
put
have
people
deals
up
with
for
Black
the
Clinics,
crowdfunder that
Rippers.
I'm glad I never got
people kind
betrayed
of
by
knew,
Ethan Klein.
You know, like they could see them.
Apparently,
and
people
knew who
like
they
used to
were,
think he was based or something.
just as part of the marketing, and then I didn't.
Thanks, Channy. I hope you do.
I didn't
Hit me up. We'll definitely play
I
some
didn't
games
go
together.
out of my way to show
Well,
that there were academics who were actually
here's
doing
to
it,
that
talking
thorn
about
of
other
yours.
things, not on YouTube,
Thanks
not
for everything.
internet celebrities or whatever. So we've got like a reward system in the works, and meeting up with people is going to be one of the rewards.
So they could fund academics who weren't as popular.
Another one over
I'm
here.
trying to be amenable to them as much as I can, but they're not really that big, and they're not really that influential, especially when
Thanks, Noah.
we're
Cheers.
courting like academics,
Let me know
like
if you
actual
need anything
academics,
else.
not pretend YouTube academics. We're actually going for people who are actually like researching in these fields and making progress in these areas.
Yeah, the
and
cow
actually
does.
like working for this.
Think you'll ever go
So
back?
I'm not like super concerned
not right
about
now,
it
but
because that's
someday.
well the problem.
I don't
is,
rightly know.
Like I said, I
On
think
the one
my-
hand,
the biggest
I don't
mistake
have anyone
made
outside the clan.
was not making it clear that
Shit,
this
I don't
is not
really know
a
any other life.
and
the
a
other?
lot of like we can't list a lot of
Without
people
my
that
clan,
are on
who
there
am
that
I?
are very left leaning.
Who would I become if I
they're
stayed in
fucking
Night City?
security risk. That's why I open called. I didn't want just people who were YouTube
Had to leave my
famous.
clan too.
YouTube famous,
Oh,
internet
yeah, I
famous, that doesn't
remember.
mean anything.
Backer
Well,
family.
the only thing
right?
that could make this shit
Mhm.
show worse if there was a
Then it
political
came to
angle
Night
on it.
City.
I mean, we fucked
Saw my
over
chance,
YouTubers and built their
took it.
audience for money. But
And?
could we fuck over
And I
political
lost
opponents
almost
just for the fun of it? Well, I think we could if we follow a
That's
few steps.
comforting.
If you remember Kraut Server with all his magnificent 24-hour ops like Purple Starfish or
Let's
whatever the
talk
fuck
about
he called
something
this
else.
dumb shit. Based Mama was in
Anything
there.
else?
He was right in that fucking server, and in that server there was a hit list.
The
And
Raffins.
surprisingly, a good amount of the people
done
on that
with
hit
them?
list
Oh, no.
were signed up to
The
show up
shiver
at the event.
cockroaches.
People like James
One's
Alsop,
never rid of
Baked
them.
Alaska,
But it should be
Lawrence
quiet
Southern.
for a
These
time.
people and their
They'll need to
audiences
gather their
donated
wits and
money,
dust themselves
bought
off.
tickets. They were were used to help promote this.
All
I
right.
wonder if she has any
Time to look
political
to my
opinions
needs.
on these people.
What's the plan for Helmet?
First of all,
I've come up with a plan. A first draft. But I need to sleep on it. Work it out.
There's a couple of them
Then we can talk about the
that I
details.
actually do not like as a person.
I think it's best to rent rooms here, just to stay in the area. We'll get to work around midnight. It'll help keep us out of sight.
Let's bring social
Agree?
justice back to where it needs to be. Fuck those white nationalists. But don't fuck their money. We need their money. We have a $30,000 business loan to pay off and trademarks to apply for. Well, Jim, that doesn't prove
Good
any
idea.
malice on her
Let's
part.
do it.
Well, as she said,
Noah,
she is
we'll
Kilroy.
take 2 rooms.
Because at the end of the
Just for
day,
tonight.
Kilroy is just me.
And the Kilroy social media
I'll go
page
catch a few
that's up
winks.
only has like
See you later.
130 tweets. So it's really weird then, isn't it, that a social media account used to promote a free speech event would be retweeting Crowton T advertising his dirty tricks server. If she's calling the shots, and this is her event, and her event is officially promoting him by retweeting him on their official fucking account, raises a few questions, doesn't it? It's a twofer, really. You get a bunch of gullible YouTubers to promote your event, which you let them think is actually their event, but you have no real intention of ever letting them show up and speak. Now, you go about this by a myriad of different ways, by making panels
Baked
inaccessible,
Alaska just as like a
losing
free
emails,
speech sort of
creating
guy.
contracts which are just purely ridiculous in the hopes that it will drive them away or anger them, to make room for all those top-tier intellectual academics that you've always dreamed of gathering together in one place to have 48 panels on Muslim. And
They did
Muslim
have
that.
Monday Matt
And
on,
you
though.
also get to take all this money from right-wing sources which you disagree with, people you find abhorrent, and then basically just throw them off the website, kick them off, remove their name. It doesn't matter. You've already got the cash.
Sometime last week, I was dropped from the Kilroy speakers list without notice. That's how you know you're dealing with true professionals.
Seems pretty cut and dry to me. For that 3-week period of fundraising, there weren't contracts sent out. There
Come on.
weren't NDAs discussed.
Let's get a drink.
Everybody seemed to be taken by surprise at the very end, after the money was gathered.
Well,
Then,
of
once the
course,
money
you
was
can't
in
say
that
anything
bank account,
negative
suddenly
about it.
we have
In fact,
issues.
Raffin's
Suddenly
wiped,
we need to
6th
clear
Street's
some room,
pleased.
make some space for the
Pretty good day for
important
Pan
people,
Am
not
Palmer.
you fucking YouTubers.
The
You
day's
don't
not
matter.
over yet.
But hey, you've still got things to look forward to at Kilroy. I mean, sure, Sargon's not going to be in the ball pit. That's a bit disheartening. I think we all really wanted to see him just swimming around in his natural environment, but sadly that's just not going to happen. But at least he can show up for the fights. The good old fisticuffs. I'm talking Jeff
He still
Holiday
have a
throwing
chance
down
to piss
Coach
me off.
Red Pill.
Can you just not be a pussy about it?
You know something? I'm gonna go to the Kilroy event.
Okay,
Hello,
good.
Noah.
Come to the Kilroy event.
New biz or
I'm
new
gonna go to the
back
Kilroy
there?
event and I'm gonna look you
Take
up.
a wild guess.
When you find me at Kilroy, you were
everything
just
good
saying,
with you?
Coach, that you come find me
Those
at Kilroy.
bozos
What are
come
you gonna
around
do when you
again?
find me? You gonna give me a big old
Raffins?
soft kiss?
Nah, it's been quiet.
You'd love that,
They'll be
wouldn't you?
back, sure enough.
Oh yeah.
This
I love
place
older
has
men.
seen worse.
So what are you gonna do? You say
What
you're
can
gonna
I
come
get
and you're
you?
gonna find me at Kilroy. What are you gonna do? You're gonna
Frozen.
have a chat? You gonna find me
2
a
of 'em.
burger?
So that package
You'll
for
be
Street.
talking, but I won't
What
be
was
talking
it?
much, probably.
You didn't
Okay.
peek?
So you're gonna
Valoperidol.
patiently sit there
Drugs
and you're
for
gonna
the
listen
cyber psychos in our
and
midst.
absorb everything that I have to
Trading?
say, and that'd be great.
Yes.
Cool. Sounds
They
good.
have
Is that it?
deals.
Is that all you're gonna do when
Black
you
clinics,
come to Kilroy, man?
zippers.
Or Johnny Fox taking on Monday Match.
Cheers.
Here's the
Here's to what's yet to come.
Here's the thing.
To what's
Johnny,
to
you want to
come.
have this conversation in person, dude? I'm all for it. Get your ass to Phoenix in fucking April. Right, whether you're going to Kilroy 1 or Kilroy 2, whatever it is making. Why don't you come on out? Why don't you come on out? Come on out. Come on out, sir.
Fuck,
That's
man.
that's my suggestion. Come on out. Come on out. Come on, let's have a conversation. Come on. Get on that plane, Johnny. Get on that iron horse. Get your ass to Phoenix.
Cheers.
That sounds like some
Let
good
me know
old
if you
fun.
need
Who doesn't
anything
wanna
else.
Watch people beat the shit out of each other. This sounds like a
I would love to
fantastic
watch
event.
somebody beat the
And
shit out of
hopefully,
Matt.
Kilroy's a great success for them because they're going to need the money, you know, with
The Elder
breaking
Caldos.
the law and all. Oh, did
Think he'll ever go
I
back?
forget to mention that part?
I don't rightly
You
know.
know that 3-week crowdfunder
On
they
the
had?
other?
They had a ton of people's names up, raising
About
money
my
to show up
clan.
at the event, and how they sent contracts out after that, after December 6th, after the money had been raised. Turns out that might have been completely fucking illegal. Don't take my word
Could
for
always
it.
try it
Ask
out.
Based Mama.
But
See
then I
who
got
you
a
become
second
in Night
problem,
City.
which I found out the other day.
Except
Is I
City
can't
doesn't always
advertise
play
people
fair.
that I don't have signed
Don't know
on.
if it's worth sacrificing your friends along the way.
Because
Oh,
that
yeah, no
means
shit.
violating false advertising
Scorpion?
laws in Arizona.
Come
So
on.
if I'm understanding
Sooner
this
or
right,
later,
she's
Pan Am,
basically
the
admitted
city will
that
suck
she
you in.
illicitly raised
We'll need to
$85,000.
cut whatever ties you
Brilliant.
got left at the Elder Caldos.
That
The
is
city will do that
140
for you.
IQ, ladies and gentlemen.
Because my
guess I should
IQ
think about
is
it.
extremely high. it is extremely frustrating to not only be an
All right.
intellectual anomaly myself.
Time to look to my needs. What's the plan for Hellman?
Like, you know,
I've come up with a plan. A first draft. But I need to sleep on it. Work it out. Then we can talk about the details.
You know, it's really funny that like I think the old adage sort of like really does apply.
We'll get to work around midnight.
A person
It'll
with
help keep us out of sight. Agreed?
I want to make it
what
for
the hell?
7. Could you see that happening?
Wait, where's the
Maybe
last
rent
part
just
of
one.
where's the
idea.
last part of
Noah has 2 twin
Trout?
beds in every room. We'll save some money.
Okay.
When Kraut says Jim's friends are going to take care of it, oh, hashtag Jim knew. Hashtag
Not
Jim.
quite what I had in mind.
But like the old adage
Just
is
what did
actually
you have
very
in mind?
true. Is that people
Just,
with actually like high IQs
glad to
are
admit.
smart enough and
So
know
I
better
thought-
enough
I'm
not
glad you
brag
did too.
about their IQs.
That could have been a
like
damn
that's the
tough day.
that's the
But thanks
that's
to you,
the
it all went
that's the
well.
like the really
Maybe
like whenever somebody starts
calls for
talking
a
about their IQ and how
little
high it is,
celebration?
just know that they are at
Sure.
best a fucking midwit.
celebrate.
They are at best a midwit.
But not
Most
today.
likely they're just really
I'm
fucking
beat.
stupid. Like it's very funny
No, I want me
because
to
like
run.
that's like
Twin beds.
9 times
Just
out
one
of
night.
10 the case in general.
I'll go catch a few winks.
Oh. Oh.
Outrageous. And we are speaking of
Boy. Okay.
by contrast, you in the skeptic community, quite frankly, are a bunch of lying, ignorant, cowardly, beta weaklings. We are ready for you. Believe me.
Oh boy, we've got an internet war. There's nothing more exciting than watching LARPers on both sides go at it on the
We should
digital
watch Rich
landscape,
Evans reacting to
hurling
Collider. I
insults
love
like
it so much.
cannonballs across
Next time
social
you're
media,
here, we'll do that.
gathering
We'll
their
do that
forces together
when
on
I do another one of
put
these.
out a hot new video to take down the other motherfucker. And this saga has been one of the larger battles in that internet war between, as Millennial Woes puts it, the alt-right and
The skeptics! The skeptics! The skeptics! The skeptics! The
that's right, the skeptics.
Bunty
That's,
cock.
Bunty King, pictured here with his adopted family at the tender age of 8. There's been a little bit of a heated conflict between the two groups, and Kraut was seen as a general among the skeptic forces trying to take the battle to the alt-right. Now, we've covered a lot of stuff.
Now
a
that I
lot
think
of the
about it,
dirty details
you don't
of
have
what went down
Vinci
in
PD
Kraut's
bothering
server.
you way out here.
Talked about the origin,
No corpo
what
supply
started it all.
inspections either.
And we talked
You got
about a few of
anything
the offshoots from the personalities which
unconventional
inhabited that server.
that I wouldn't
a
find
server,
in the
might I
city?
remind you, that was stocked
I'm
full
sure
of
we can
YouTube
find you
academics
something.
My academic.
What are you carrying?
and individuals that have watched the 6th season
all
of Rick and Morty. Because
my IQ is extremely high.
they had some firepower behind them, but they just couldn't win the fight fair. They needed to get dirty. They needed to smear their opponents. We talked a little bit about it in the second video, the super secret 24-hour operations that they were running across the internet. Who can forget the captivating Tom Clancy-esque spy saga of Tilly Law? A genius idea by a mastermind puppeteer. Nobody could see through that. Even though everything was misspelled, she's still a highly intelligent chemistry student. But we only really scratched the surface. I saved the best part for last. In this finale, we're going to talk about the main issue with the server, the thing that really brought it to a head, got the public's attention, and basically led to Kraut self-exiling himself from the internet. And to do that, I need to introduce you to Coach Red Pill.
Oh boy, Coach posting.
Now, Coach Red Pill is a YouTuber that makes videos that lean to the right, as you probably could surmise from his username. And if you're not familiar with his videos, you're probably familiar
get some
with his
coffee.
use of cameras. At least if you've posted on 4chan within the last
You
2
are under a
weeks, you'll know when you
misconception
see it, it's
that
Coach
you are
posting.
our most
Now,
valuable
Coach
asset.
was no friend of the
You
crowd. In
are
fact,
not.
say their relationship was downright antagonistic. Coach was very open about his opinion on what he thought of Crowd, releasing multiple videos within a short succession talking about his reaction to the Rage After Storm incident. And in each subsequent video, the criticism grew harsher and harsher. Now, these sorts of criticisms and videos aren't inconsistent with Coach's video style. In fact, he released videos even earlier than this, taking shots at the skeptic community. But I think what really got Kraut's attention were the ones that were personally addressed to him. I could almost nail it down to a specific thing that I think really set him on the path of wanting revenge against Coach Red Pill.
And the reason I didn't care for his voice is that I realized something almost immediately when I listened to him. He's faking his accent. You see, the kind of accent that he uses, or he tries to use rather, is known as RP, received pronunciation. Now, received pronunciation is not a regional accent. In point of fact, it's a social accent, if you will. It's the form of speech that
Coach Red Pill ever talked to Horse Boy.
upper-class kids learn in private school, usually boarding school.
Oh,
He's faking.
By the way, I wanna tease something that's coming down the pipe. A friend of mine, I requested a favor of them. This friend of mine is a person who proofreads and writes things professionally. Like they write things to a very precise metric, and like, you know, perfect grammar and stuff like this. Like this is what they do for a living. And I sent them our boy Bosch's Medium article.
What nation you ride
and
with, Dakota?
The Aldecaldos.
They are
I'm
ecstatic
Rode with the backers.
and giddy
You rode.
over
Past tense.
being able
now?
to go over
Now I don't.
his Medium
I see.
article with a
We will
red
be in
marker.
touch, V.
And I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to that because
one of my missing
they
vehicles could be near
they
your
told me
current
it's actually
position.
going to take a while to completely critique exactly how badly he is at writing and how bad he is at like expressing his opinions. They're really happy about this. They hate this guy, like, and they were like, I would have hated this guy if you didn't even tell me who this was. So look forward to that, because that's going to be lit. Oh, I actually might call into Ralph's show tomorrow, because iHypocrite's on there, and he's pretty good at covering a lot of the like really retarded shit that Horsefucker says, and you know, I wouldn't mind just saying hi to him. He used to follow me on Twitter. I feel bad because I think like I posted weeb shit or something. And he didn't block me. He just unfollowed me. I don't know. I always get kind of worried that like people are gonna unfollow me because I poke fights with people on the internet. I'm not gonna stop doing it. But I always kind of like, oh man, they're like, oh, this sucks. This is boring. This guy's weird. He's picking fights with these spurgs. I don't want this shitting at my... Oh, he's anti-VTuber? That actually might be it. Oh god. Oh no. I'm a VTuber. That's why. I always get kind of worried too that like people are gonna give me shit for being friends with Athena. I like Athena. I like Athena. I genuinely like Athena. She's really nice. She's been really nice to me. That's the thing. That's the thing that you know, Flam will do pretty much anything if people are just nice to him. He'll be friendly towards pretty much anyone if they're just nice to him. Nah, I'm not gonna like ask people to tell him to follow me.
His accent. Now, why would that be important? What about that would bother Kraut so much? Well, to understand that, you need to know a little bit about
Thank
Kraut.
you for the follow.
From what I understand, he was initially a high school dropout who had to go to night courses to get his degree. And so there's a bit of a chip on his shoulder. And here comes this guy, Coach Red Pill, saying that he's a phony, that he's not as intelligent as he's presenting himself to be. We've all heard Kraut's statements for the last couple of months about his YouTube scientists, about academics.
I don't know where you've heard my name before.
He desperately wants to put
Pretty cool guy though. I think you'll like it.
That he is well educated
Whose
and
username?
highly intelligent. And yet here comes this YouTuber basically calls him out and says,
God, people are
"Making
falling
your
all over
accent
the
try to
place.
sound more intelligent than
My
you really
left
are."
or right?
Imagine how
Guess.
pissed off the crowd would be. Again, this
Guess.
is the same man that created a super secret server to hunt down the right and right-wingers because people didn't take his reaction to Rage After Storm particularly well. He's the sort of individual that once you slight him, he doesn't forget it. If he has a vendetta, he'll take that to his
maybe
fucking
guess.
grave
I don't
unless he
know.
puts you in one first.
Stick around and find out if you want. What are you? Whose username?
My missing vehicles could be near your current position.
Got it.
That isn't intimidating.
Oh God.
This genuine.
Boot stumping from the.
So what does this building
Growl.
animosity lead to? What actually ends up happening after Red Bill does this? And the crowd has this server established to the alt-right. Well, that's where the doxing comes in. Oh boy, can I use that word? Is it doxing 1x or 2x?
I don't think I've ever harassed anybody whose username.
There's been so many different definitions of banning.
I'm a sweetheart. Chat, press S in the chat if I'm a known sweetheart. I'm a good boy. I'm a good boy. I'm always nice to everybody. I'm a sweetheart. I'm a sweetheart who's not very good at video games. Yeah, no, I'm really bad at video games. There's some 3s for Greek, I guess. Oh yeah, a lot of S's. Chat's really responsive if I ask them to do like direct things. I can understand that. I can understand just having it on the background. My streams are definitely background noise right now, especially when I'm just like watching Mediker and playing Genshin. What are you? Whose username? Where do you fall ideologically? Actually, I think Destiny was like relatively friendly to me actually when I went on his stream. Because like there were some people that were there were people that were like actively there were people who were actively fucking with him and his like financials and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know, I'm not a big fan of Destiny, but like when people like go after your financials, that's kind of scummy. That makes you kind of a piece of shit, in my opinion. And I reached out to him. I was like, yeah, that's fucked up. I hope you.
Didn't answer my
question. I hope things work out for you. And he thought it was really sweet. And then like one of the Platesburgs like went in and
so. I'm from another world.
One of the Platesburgs went in and what's it called?
And you come from
like spammed the N-word using my name, and I'm just oh shit. Yeah, I can understand
Come on,
that,
let's get you
Godzilla,
back to
but
Dome.
I don't think that people should be fucked with. But to be fair, Destiny did also try to apparently like financially ruin Sargon, which I mean I don't like Sargon either, but
protein-based
that's also
away from
pretty
your family.
shitty. That's also pretty like scummy and stuff. I can't really find that.
Maybe you ought to figure it out with
I think
Dell.
whose
Set
username
some terms.
left. I think we scared him off, chat. I think the sweetheart scared him off.
But not with Delamain.
What a shame.
Farewell, V.
Yeah, let's get back to the.
You'd be wise
Everybody
to
has
avoid
a
me
different fucking
entirely.
opinion on it. But you know what?
Oh,
Because
okay.
This is
I've re-established the
Okay.
link. 1,000
But
thanks,
yeah,
V.
welcome to the stream. Whose username?
Gotta say,
we're
disturbing
pretty
that
chill
one.
here.
Is
Oh,
that
okay.
so?
Well, as long as you're not for
Well,
financially
I've
ruining
transferred a
people
share
that
of
you
your
don't
fee to
like
your account.
that you don't like on the internet, I welcome you to the stream. If you are a person who wants to financially ruin people that you don't like on the internet, though, you can go and pound sand and get the fuck out of here. Why don't I like Sargon? Because he got into weird really weird personal shit with Jim and stuff like that. Like anybody who takes the internet super seriously is depends on the context. Okay, what's a valid context for whose username? I want to know that. But no, yeah, whenever somebody starts like getting, you know, kind of smug prefer government, right? Yeah, this is definitely not the stream for you, buddy. This is definitely not the stream for you. People are not going to be very welcoming of that sort of authoritarian lean. We're pretty anti-authoritarian here. I'm sure Sargon has matured. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, that is a problem with me. That is I said I prefer public pushback over government regulations. I'm actually not a big fan of like giving the public a means in which to Karen it up, I guess. I mean, do you want to come on and discuss this? Whose username? I always welcome conversations because it's always fairly interesting, and I always like to talk to people who might not agree with me. If you want to, I have an open Discord if you want to join in and have a little conversation. I'm a nice lad. Don't worry, we're good lads here. Sargon's doing his Lotus Eater shit, which is a disastrous launch, and shows what's his Lotus Eaters. I don't know. PSA Stitch and Adam Friended are still like friendly with Sargon, so I mean, I don't know. They seem to be pretty good judges of character, and they hang out with pretty cool people and stuff. But I don't know. Sargon does follow me on Twitter apparently. If Greenwood Outlaw is his actual @ which is interesting. Oh, his new web channels and website lotuseaters.com. Is that like a wait? Did his Thinkery A for Play site? Ugh. Yeah. No, Destiny was. I think that's actually one of the smarter things that Destiny did was make his own website. That was definitely a smart idea. I wish I had like the audience to like necessitate that. That would be really cool to use. I feel like Sargon was appealing to Jim's IRL sensibilities. Jim's just too cynical and thought Sargon was full of shit. Yeah, and honestly, I can kind of understand Jim's like, not really into debate, bro. I'm just saying there's some things to have reasonable consequence if we just let speech run rampant, absent some form of, I fully disagree with that whose username. I think that I think an apparatus that like basically has a chilling effect on people's speech leads to like paranoia and other things, and leads to just like the acceptance of totalitarian state control over speech in the long run. Basically, any time that anyone says that things need to be curtailed for safety, generally that's just a politician's way of saying that they actively want to bend you over and fuck you raw. I'm just, you know. But no, it wouldn't really be a debate. I'm just kind of curious as to your position and just having a conversation about it. Because, like, you know, people generally need to like prepare for debates stuff.
Selling anything
but
interesting?
I do welcome people on. I do welcome antagonistic individuals on. I love it. I love it. I'm a very combative person. If you didn't know already, I was trying so hard to get that weird schizophrenic clown guys to like come onto the stream, but he was smart enough to realize that would probably be a bad idea after he tried to dox me. And his mom was like saying, or like the person who was saying that they was calling mom was like being really weird and like trying to dox me with my Steam profile. Oh my goodness, people get so like worked up on the internet, dude. It's embarrassing. I'll never understand it. I'll really like.
Let me see. Perhaps you want Dalbat.
It's an ongoing thing, dude.
Tempting, but no, thanks.
An ongoing thing.
Training bots.
Yes, by the way, again, I do highly recommend, though, on the subject that we were talking about, that people go and look up the FAQ thing
What do you
or
take me for,
the
gonk?
comment section thing
Clunkers
that
like that selling kabuki
Null
bazaars
posted
for
on
pennies
Kiwi
at the
Farms about
come here
the,
just for that,
the specific
more.
legislation
Maybe
that,
a little, but not
or
as much as you're trying to fleece
specific
me for.
regulations that would bar large financial
I take it down
institutions
a
from
notch.
discriminating
Now
based
hurry
on
up and
anything
pay.
other than like illegal activity. Basically, bar like large banks and credit card processors and the like from not doing business with people who haven't broken the law, essentially, which is really good and can lead to a lot of like good sort of changes in the long run. That kind of lets people be at least financially independent if you know, credit card processors think that they're engaged in wrongthink, which is, you know, always a good sign. Always a good sign. Although Channy, you're not a U.S. citizen. Oh yeah, sure. Okay. I will post the link to my Discord real quick, because we're about to wrap it up, and I guess this would be pretty cool. So I'll post the link to my Discord real quick. That's my Discord. You just hop into the green room. I think Channy's European. I think she said, right? I don't know. Because it's morning for Channy, dude. Oh, you don't see a link in chat? Okay, 1 second. This thing's a piece of crap. I have to, I guess, directly post it. Oh, okay. I will post it. I know what I need to do. I'm sorry. How do you get a tree icon? It's like a pay pig thing. Don't worry about it. If you do guys want to donate to me, please do it through Streamlabs, not DLive. In general, it's not a good idea. Oh gosh. What am I doing? Oh, my friend just sent me something funny. Good. Alright, sorry, 1 second. I'm operating off of like a weird setup right now, and I am losing my spaghetti all over the place. Also, Seizure is streaming, so I'm gonna go host Seizure after this. We're gonna have a little conversation with our new friend here, and we're going to while I do some grinding. Oh, what the hell? Oh, that's why. Oh, I'm so tired. Okay, I posted the link to the Discord. It should work. Let me know if you have any problems.
Shit weather, eh?
By the way, Seizure, post a link to your Discord, or not your Discord, your channel of where you want people to go watch after the stream. As just a suggestion. And to username guy, just hop into the green room. Let me know if you have any trouble with alt-identifier. It just stops people from hopping onto sock accounts and harassing users on my Discord, because it's happened before, and we don't want that to happen again. He has hopped into the Discord though. I'm just waiting for him to get past alt-identifier.
I'm looking for a training bot.
And just
Heard it
you
might
just
have
hop
passed
into
through
the
your
green room
hands.
after that.
Training
Actually, I can
bot,
just
you
give him
say?
a rank real quick.
Let me see. Perhaps you want Dalbot. Slightly worn and torn, missing legs, but
Tempting, but no, thanks.
suit yourself. Training bots.
All right, you've been given
Yes,
a role.
I have
You can
one,
hop into the
but only
thing
for sale, and it won't
now.
be cheap. I'm waiting.
What do you take me for, a gonk? Clunkers like that selling kabuki bazaars for pennies at the most.
Oh, it's okay. I fixed it for you.
Maybe a little, but not as much as you're trying to fleece me for.
Who just raided me this time?
Okay.
Oh, Bosif did. Hey,
I'll take it down
Bosif.
a notch.
Yo,
Now hurry
Bosif,
up and
base
pay.
check? Based? Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll just do the call. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yo.
Oh, hello, sir. How's it going?
I'm doing alright, and yourself?
I'm doing just fine. I'm caffeinated and I am up late and I am playing a Chinese Skinner box game. So all
Yeah,
good.
I hear you. It's like 5 a.m. here too, which is why I kind of preface this by saying I'm not anticipating. I definitely just wanted to kind of like.
Oh yeah, sure.
Come present the nuance of what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, sure. It's hard to do in text, and I understand that.
Yeah, for sure. So like, I wouldn't agree to it in all cases, but there can be a case made that certain types of speech can incite actions. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the term stochastic terrorism.
I'm familiar with the concept, but I'm not entirely sure if I buy the validity of what people generally ascribe it to. In general, anyway.
Stochastic terrorism.
It seems it seems mostly used as a means in which to sort of scapegoat anybody that you generally don't like online and try to pin something to something that people do. Like if I were to say like there was like a mass shooting in Dayton and stuff like that, and the guy who committed it followed like the Young Turks. Like I wouldn't go out and say that like the Young Turks drove this kid to go and like kill people. You know what I mean?
Well,
Why not?
I don't think
Let's say it.
They should be held like legally responsible, but it depends on the type of rhetoric. Like, if someone's saying, you know, use this, use that, use this, and someone's following them as well as like other Nazi forum boys, you can say that they're influenced by these. Anyway, like, so.
Well, with that, I
Why are they so strong?
Have to ask, do you think that like would the determining factor is if somebody said go out and do X, like go out and do X and do this and violence,
I think
whatever.
What I'm trying to say is that to some degree repeated antagonisms of certain types can definitely lead to actions. Because like speech isn't just in a bubble, like in a vacuum. You know what I mean? Like it definitely plays an influence to people.
Sure, like saying conservatives should be excised from the country, Israel should be glassed, yeah, that kind of stuff. That's stochastic terrorism too.
Now, I don't
Bullshit.
believe that should come from the government. I don't believe the government should have regulations over any type of speech that may seem antagonistic. For instance, because for instance, criticize police. I don't want to yield or give.
Can I ask you something though, real quick? What if a prominent leftist creator was going on about, oh, pigs, these people, constantly, and then one of their viewers went out and like ambushed a police officer and shot them to death? Would you say that they were personally responsible for what their audience members did?
It's not that they're personally responsible; it's that they're an influential factor in that person's action.
Well, what would you say that the valid?
They're not culpable for the action itself.
Okay, so they're not culpable. Fuck off. You've said it.
What would you say the appropriate outcome would be for that then?
Well, again, that's kind of why I think we talk about the conversation of is it ever necessary or justified for people to go after someone's financial situation? So if we're not going to have government to regulate it, because I think we can both agree on that would be a terrible precedent to set. We do, at least I personally believe that the only other form of trying to self-regulate our speech to some degree to prevent these types of things is something like cultural pushback. That can be debate, that can be just, you know, quote unquote uploading your own personal opinions to the cultural zeitgeist like you're doing on Twitch, or that can be attacking someone's financial assets. I don't agree with it in all cases.
You see, the thing is, though, oh, sorry.
Yeah, I want to explain that this, to some degree, can either be justified or unjustified, depending on the context of what was said, depending on the means and what they're, like, what financial assets they're attacking, and how long this is, like, propagated, right? So, like, I wouldn't, per se, agree with someone continuously following someone around who said, you know, a gamer word, for the rest of their lives, getting them fired everywhere they go. Because I don't think that's productive. I don't think that's going to help the person change, and people can change. I do, however, think that if someone has a spicy take, like, for instance, I know you guys seem to not like Destiny here, but if Destiny
I don't actually have a massive problem with
No,
Destiny.
not even
I
Destiny
think
believes
that,
this
like,
shit
he's
anymore.
wrong on a lot of things, but I generally would say that, like, the people who are actively trying to, like, fuck with him, to actively try to get him kicked off Twitch or anything like that, are generally people who are a lot more loathsome than him in principle.
Maybe, but what I'm saying though is that, like, I think there's a difference between trying to go after, like, maybe even Destiny being on Twitch completely, or going after then going after someone's sponsors, per se, where you have a problem with what someone said, you can use your
Avid viewers of reality TV show, a bit of politics.
I don't
Okay,
know if you're
we.
aware of what your sponsoree is saying, but I don't agree with it. I don't think it's a good thing. And then at the end of the day, it's up to the sponsor whether they're going to continue to sponsor.
Well, it's really not up to the sponsor, though. It's up to the sponsor's, like, financial liabilities and stuff like that, especially if you get a large, like, highly vocal but, like, small minority that are, like, really pissed off about it. It's the same thing that when Pokimane went after the sponsor of It's a Gundam for covering, like, her audience in an unflattering way. It's not that, like, there was a massive outcry. How dare Ridge Wallet sponsor something like this? It was a larger content creator going out and saying, we need to get rid of this and stuff like that, and leveraging their position, which is, like, inherently uncompetitive and is like generally, like, a really shitty way. I think a better, like, way of
I want to try and get
going
at
about
least
things
one
is
of
to
them
actually, like, remove this ability for people to go out and, like, actively fuck with other people's financials. It's the internet. Fucking take a breath, go outside, and get the fuck over it.
Oh no. You can't.
Speech doesn't inherently have an effect or a reasonable influence on other people.
Also, the skull is like their high level.
When it comes to sponsors or something like that, speech, even small, small minorities of group speech, do influence their actions. So, like, I'm not seeing, like, I don't know how there's a disconnect.
So
here
the
where,
way what I'm saying is that the only thing that I think should be actionable speech in terms of, like, legal liability is active calls to action to do X. Like,
we're not
if
talking
you
about legal liability right now.
well, I think that it should. I think that's the range that it should cover in general, even for like, you know, sponsorship deals or anything like that. I think the recent what's it called? The recent regulations put forth by the Office of the Comptroller of Currency of disallowing banks from discriminating against anybody who's not engaged in illegal practices from financial services. Really, really important, like, change in regulation, because that's the thing now, is that it's like the threat isn't from the government going out there and doing stuff like that. It's from people. It's from, you know. Well, I would say the government. I would say the government too, because the government generally wants this.
I don't know much about that bill, but I would say
it's not a bill. It's regulations.
It's a hostile area.
Regulatory body, not an actual lawmaker. Like, I haven't looked into it, but on the face, I wouldn't be against it. Because, like I said, I don't like
Beautiful. Red Joe's training starts tomorrow. Then it won't be long until
small
you hear his name
scale
again. He has potential, that boy.
Sponsorship
Nice
is
work.
very different
Until
than like
next
a banking
time.
institution. I don't think is necessarily inherently wrong. Especially since at the end of the day, the sponsor could just say, "Oh, well, this is just a small like group of people. Fuck up, we're going to continue to sponsor."
Yeah, but it doesn't work like that. Like I know, but I'm talking about how it like works like IRL, and I think like the important thing to understand is that in terms of regulating speech and stuff like that, like corporations and the government are pretty much hand in hand on a lot of this stuff, and they really like, because the government is like barred from doing this based on the current way that the Constitution is read. And corporations, they don't really give a shit. They just want to maximize their profits. And the best way to maximize their profits is to like make sure that it is a non-squeaky wheel, and it doesn't like there's no friction or anything. They rely on a third group, the useful idiots, that go out and demand that things be curtailed to their like specific way. They will forego any form of like rights or freedom on the internet, or what they perceive as safety or decorum or things like that. And the government and the corporations are all too happy to make their problems disappear, regardless of like how fucked up it is.
The difference is, though, is that you have a right to not be suppressed by government, but you do not have a right to a platform or a sponsor. Those are two fundamentally different things.
Yeah, but you also don't have the right to have your like dissatisfaction with a person actualized by getting them removed from their livelihoods.
I mean, you don't have like a legally granted right, but there's nothing also prohibiting it.
Well, except for just like common decency, yeah.
Well, again, if someone's doing something that is inherently undecent, like, saying the word or whatever, and you go to the sponsor to say, hey, look, I don't like this speech that they're using, who's the one that's being uncivil here?
In general, I would always kind of side with the person who is not going after people's financial livelihood. That's just my personal thing. I think that,
you don't have a legally granted right, but there's nothing on the prohibited.
Well, except for just like common decency, yeah.
Well, again, if someone's doing something that is inherently already undecent, like saying that
I have good reasons to like Destiny. Not really.
Who's the one that's being uncivil here?
In general, I will always kind of side with the person who is not going after people's financial livelihood. That's just my personal thing. I think that a person's financial livelihood is a lot more tied to their overall well-being than a person going off and saying gamer words on the internet.
Right, but I would say that like it's not inherently uncivil. You might say.
Well, wait, are you a I don't want to like I don't want to put ideology into your mouth, but are you some form of socialist?
Beautiful.
Okay, so you agree that a person's financial well-being is directly tied to like their overall like it's very important to their overall well-being, right?
Sure, but again, that's why I'm not a prolonged attack. However, again, you don't have an inherent right to a sponsor. And the sponsor doesn't have to.
So where's the line? Where's the line? Where should the line be drawn for a person like Destiny? Because I'm guessing that you're pro his departing edge.
Actually, no.
Okay.
I think.
What a
I think it's one thing to go after sponsors. It's another to go through after employment.
Well, it's not his employment; it's a sponsorship through Twitch through advertising revenue.
It's a form of employment. I mean, these big Twitch people have contracts. They have contracts.
They have contracts because it's a lot cheaper for them to do it than actually making them employees.
Right, but I would consider that a form of precarious work, like some employment. Like, other than legal. Like,
so what if a person has a self-started business on YouTube? Would you say that they shouldn't be gone after if they say things that are distasteful to you?
I guess so, under the same context that...
okay, well, I can agree with that.
So like, and that's what I mean. That like, I know you probably still don't agree with me on sponsorship, but that's what I mean by it's not inherently wrong. It
I'm just
depends on the
kind
context.
of.
To me, I guess what this is like to kind of succinctly put it in a package for you. To me, it depends on what was said, whether it's justified or not to act on that by going after someone's sponsor, and the means and what they're going after, and how long they're doing it. It's context is what matters to me, not the inherent act itself of whether it's justified or not.
Okay. I guess like the overall thing that I take from a lot of this is that it's generally not a good thing to get like so mad at the internet that you go after people's financial status and things like that. I think that people who take the internet so seriously that they go out and attack people's livelihood should like really just go outside, take a breath, relax. It's the internet. At the end of the day, like thousands of other people are going to say the exact same thing, and there's really nothing you can do about it. And you should just kind of like. It
seems like, and this might not be your intent, but it seems like you're using internet to kind of down.
I don't think I can.
Like, you tend to think the internet is like kind of severed.
Hold up in here.
Like
Unless
no,
I
think
can
that
get a
the
drop
internet
on them.
is part of reality. I think that the internet, though, is also a less serious, like, thing out there. I think that a lot of really bad problems come from when people take the internet so seriously that they get really mad at it.
Well, it depends on, like, so could you imagine someone who has been targeted for a certain thing, and then they see someone sponsored making a lot of money and they're saying those same things? Can you see how there's still like a connection between?
I can see how it can suck for them, but I think that if they like
Man, I can't hear you. Wait.
walked away,
Oh, you
left
mean
it alone, and just like
honestly,
walk outside.
I'm gonna take care of you personally.
Took a breather from like being exposed to the thing that causes them so much like anxious and stuff like that. That they would probably like get over it.
Well, see, the problem is that the internet.
Could be a fucking coincidence. Where you fill up? The fuck's what got to do with it? Just tell me
very rare occasion.
where he
Again, like,
stopped for gas. That guy by the dump. Alright, we're there. Fuck, Gunk Street admitted it.
And I don't mean this in a negative connotative way, but it's propaganda. And propaganda will play out in the real world, right? So if there's no pushback, and
Skill shot.
both agree it should be government, and we disagree that it shouldn't be aimed at financial assets, but even things like debate, you know, if there's no form of cultural pushback on the internet, things will bleed out.
Thanks, stranger. If you want to go out and debate and stuff like that and talk about that, I fully welcome that sort of.
Well, I'm just saying,
I fully welcome that sort of thing, but again,
I'm
when it gets into like sort of sort of like demanding that reality curtail itself to your sensibilities and demands, I think that's generally like a really kind of shitty worldview, I guess. You know, you can obviously like vote in your own interests or how you think like something should be run or something like that, but like at the end of the day, if enough people like vote against you, like you can try to convince them otherwise, but after a certain point you just kind of have to accept reality, I think.
Well, couldn't you say the same thing to people who get sponsored? Like, you gotta accept the reality that there are people out there. Look,
there's people out there that want you like
clear
broke and homeless.
Real quick, I want to make something clear here. I've never gone personally after someone's financial assets.
How do we believe that? Show us a report history on YouTube. Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit.
Okay.
So like, I just think that it depends. Like, in almost everything there's nuance, right? I can imagine some scenarios
And
where
almost
it is
everything there's
justified
nuance.
to do so. Might not be the best way to push back on these things.
Wait.
It might not even be like the right way to do it if it's prolonged attack. That becomes a form of harassment, especially if the person is trying to change. But I do think there are certain contexts where it is preferable for there to be that kind of pushback than for there to not be any at all.
I don't know. I guess again, I just can't see myself ever like getting to the point where I demand that like people's sensibilities like curtail themselves to mine. I think that like
Well, yeah,
people
and
are just going to be different. Like you know, I think that you've got a kind of like shitty and a very exploitative worldview that can like easily lead to like really shitty outcomes. But at the end of the day, like it's your fucking right to have those
yeah, like that's
viewpoints.
why I said when I came in, I didn't want this to be a debate.
Yeah, no,
because
I don't
think
think it
change.
is. I didn't think
either of us could change our minds. I was just kind
Well, I
of.
don't think debate's really for that at the end of the day. I think it's just for presenting your thoughts and articulating them to the person.
Yeah, it was
disagreeing
just
with.
easier to do it in voice. Than
Yeah, it's a lot easier to do it in voice. Especially since I'm playing.
Like it was just a matter of
gotcha
kind
games.
of giving my perspective, because like, like from what little I typed, I could see how like it could be like. And you said that like my position is shitty, but it can be a hell of a lot shittier, and I've seen people do it a hell of a lot shittier. I'm just
like you're not like calling for people that you disagree with on the internet to be shot, which is definitely a step up from some of the stuff I've seen online.
Not even just to that extreme. Like I don't think continual like targeted harassment of people's financial assets is better either. Like if you were to call someone's sponsor right after they do something and say, hey, look, I don't like that they're doing this, you should know about it, and the sponsor makes the decision to not sponsor them anymore, that's different than going after their sponsors over and over and over for the rest of their life. The severity of it definitely plays a factor.
Yeah, but there's gonna be people who there's definitely gonna be people who do that.
Yeah, sure. And I disagree with it as well.
Okay.
I
don't know. Oh, sorry.
It's just about the nuance of like all these things like comparatively, where it's like what was said, what was like propagated, what financial assets are you going for? How like are you doing it as a prolonged harassment effort? You know what I mean?
Damn long
Is
while,
this you as an individual, or are you trying to form some type
See
of
what we
group?
got here.
Which I would
Anderson trunk eaten
you know
away
what I
by
mean?
rust.
Like, all those
Rest
factor
body's
into
still holding
whether
up.
if you give me a
Wonder what's
situation
under
or
the
not,
hood.
say, is this justified or not? I wouldn't inherently automatically just toss it aside and say it's always
warm.
wrong. I would have to look at the
Engine was
context
running
of the
just a short
situation
while ago.
to say, well, it might. Again, this is just personal values are different
coil,
of opinions. Where it'd be
plugs.
like some of them I
Somebody's
could
clearly
say
been tinkering
I
with
can
the
understand.
camshaft. What's this now?
Fair enough. Okay. I can understand it again.
Yeah, you can understand something without agreeing to it.
Yeah.
Salvage from some other junker.
Well, thanks for coming on. Definitely always nice whenever people who are a little bit more combative come on and I guess bring up what they're saying. If you have anything you want to shout out, just go ahead. Chat.
Right.
Always remember, be
Seen
nice. We want people to not have a reason to not come on.
What? No, it's my
I
car.
don't make any content.
No.
Okay.
Why would you leave it rusting in a yacht?
But yeah, I thought it was like at the end of the day, like I said, this is more so a conversation and me just providing nuance to my perspective.
Not my
because
biz.
it like
This last week
I know
I
like
put in sweat.
I can see how you say
Smarts.
it's shitty, but there are definitely
Anything
some
to get
people
this
who
heap
can
running.
like at least agree to it
Should've
somewhat,
started
but
with the
not
step
take it to
motor.
the full
Would've been
extreme that
quicker.
some people do nonetheless.
Says who? And why?
Yeah.
Because
I
it's
don't know.
starts sticking.
Of course,
Clear
also
the carbon
I don't know.
deposits and
Like
starts
again,
running
like
like
the other
new
thing
again.
that'll always kind of like make me throw up my defense of somebody is like when they're actually just being lied about and stuff like
See?
that. Like people were
Takes the owner
pretty
to really
actively
know a set of
lying about
wheels.
Destiny's
Former
take on
owner?
riots and
Cause
shit.
mine now. As soon as I'm done doing the basic fixes,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
Lying is
see
always
in
lying's
cloud
always
exhaust.
pretty shitty.
Yeah, no, I agree, and that's why like I look into things before I would say, oh, it's right or wrong. I think he's had some spicy takes.
Seemed
I think
desperate.
He knows he's engaging in
Why he
spicy
wanna
takes,
leave?
and then he kind of like.
No way you'd understand if you
plays-
were
Has he had any like really controversial
Try me.
things lately?
Tell
I
me.
mean, I don't know.
No,
I
what?
but
Damn it!
His
Look
unpartnered
around you.
take, what got
Dirt,
him
rot,
unpartnered was
shit,
pretty
scum.
yikesy.
I
think it
don't
is.
wanna
I
live
think
here.
that it was a
Not
pretty reasonable
She's
line of
pregnant.
thinking at the time.
I think the
She's
spicy take was
pregnant.
basically evoking white supremacy. Like it would have been one thing if he was like, yeah, you know, militias need to push back on this protesting.
I'll buy
but when
this
he kinda
car
said
off
that, I think that's where
He was
enough
being as
so you
hyperbolic
get
as he
another.
could with that.
But
Sure, but that's what I mean by
It's
he
a wreck.
engages with spicy takes.
Do you think that he was
My
wrong
damn
saying
wreck.
that like
Come
by
on.
any means the
Take the
rights
cash
need to
before I
stop?
change my mind.
Well, to be
Jeez.
fair, it wasn't. He didn't
Thanks.
say by any means. He said white specific, like
Not
white
sure what to
supremacy
say.
specifically.
No,
I
he
think that's-
said
Give
he
it a
said
think.
even if
Well, I
like
take this baby
dumb
for a
whatever he said needs to do
Like
it. It needs to
actual
fucking
or
stop.
something, yeah,
Even if
it's
it
along the
like
lines of-
even if it takes like he wasn't saying like it has to be this. He was saying even
Right,
if
but
it
I'm
has
just
to be
saying
this.
that
Oh,
was,
yeah.
That was the jump
Like
overboard
clockwork.
in which it became
Well,
like,
definitely
Well,
not
but
guy
you
girl
just
match.
you just
healthier.
changed your you just
Don't know the half of it.
changed like
Wait
what
till I
was
open
the
her up.
Not afraid you might.
what was like
what can it
the
hurt?
straw that
I'm
broke the
dead
camel's
anyway.
back when I pushed back on
Floor
that.
it,
Like you.
No, I look. I would look.
It's the lying about it thing that always
No,
gonna
I'm not
like
lying
make me
about
no. I'm not saying that you're lying. I'm saying that like people are out there lying, and it leads to like people like really weird dumb internet personality feud fights, and less about like what actually was said.
Well, yeah, I can agree. People will probably exaggerate and like lie by a
outright lie. It was an out like to say
I like this car.
to say that like Destiny is
Pretty
pro,
fucking
like,
quick.
white supremacist militia.
It drives like the
now innocent
sports car.
protesters like people were going on about is just like it's not even a lie of omission. It was just an outright lie.
I was jumping specifically from the Destiny to like a more generalized. I was saying that people can exaggerate claims or lie. I even was like jumping into lie because like you kind of brought it back to the specific that. But I was saying that like in general people can exaggerate things or lie by omission or outright lie about these things. But I think Destiny, like going back to that case, Destiny specifically will engage in these spicy takes, knowing they're spicy. And also being a person who has constantly said that people like bigger content creators need to be more consciously aware of the
That part definitely. I will always find I will always kind of like because again I guess that's like that's the thing where I like it's like you got to defend him on this point, but at the same time it's like honestly though at some point like you're kind of falling victim to the fucking monster you created. You get what you fucking deserve, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I mean I agree with that. Like especially with Destiny, he cultivated a leftist audience when he like back in the day when he was debating like,
You're a leftist.
Yeah. And then he gets mad when certain leftists will hold his feet to the fire when he uses his platform in a spicy way.
No, I think he's mad about the fact that like the people who jump started from his thing and then got kicked out of his community for sexually harassing like its members goes on to have like a large following that are like religiously hell bent on ruining him financially and then actively going about it. Again, like the fact that he did this he said that he like went after Sargon financially is why I'm like, honestly dude, you kind of get what you fucking deserve. Even if I don't like Sargon, it's just like, don't do this. Don't make, people on getting mad at people on the internet like your thing. Don't try to ruin people financially, because when it happens to you, it's really fucking funny. I think so anyway.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't know. But yeah, I think Destiny engages in spicy takes while ignoring the responsibility he himself even claims he should be more self-conscious about.
Oh, he's definitely a hypocrite. There's no argument there, and I think that's probably one of his bigger moral failings. But in general, I don't like hypocrites. Like I can't stand hypocrites. I think it's pretty bad to be a hypocrite, but that's just my. All right, dude. Well, I probably kept you on for way longer than you probably intended to, especially since you said it's like 5 o'clock in the morning for you. So I'll let you get going. If you have a good night's sleep, hit me up anytime you want to come on, and if you want to listen to somebody who says things that you disagree with, and if you ever want to fire back on. Hey, listen, getting upset with people on the internet for things that they say on it and like saying why it's wrong is definitely something that I've definitely realized is very fun and apparently very marketable.
Yeah, like I said, I don't engage in that, but I can understand the difference for it. But I don't hate watch people. I just don't.
Right. How are you here then?
Into echo chambers. So like, I'm on the Republican Nation's channel sometimes. I watch even Destiny, and I don't agree with a lot of what he says. I just don't like to be
Except the
unprotected in
stochastic
my-
terrorism shit, you think
pushing
you're
the
agreeing.
Oh god.
Jeez.
It's a scary
Well,
thought.
I was,
Vox.
politics is, I'm sure you're aware, is kind of a small group of people on Twitch. So
Oh, yeah.
this was the first time I saw you on there, so like,
Oh, come on.
All right, well, you have a good night, dude. Sleep tight, and talk to you again, maybe, possibly. Who knows? Good night.
Yeah, for sure. You have a good one too.
All right. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. God, I swear to fucking goodness, I'm not kidding. Do not fucking be mean to people who have the fucking gumption to actually come on here. We actually like this stuff, at least I do. I enjoy having people on because God knows it's boring sometimes just being the only one talking for like 5 fucking hours. Oh yeah, definitely. Again, this isn't a we like Destiny club. It's just that it's a Destiny was not. It was wrong for people to fuck with Destiny's money, essentially.
Oh,
I think it's wrong to fuck with anybody's money, except for people were bringing up Jared from Subway. Jared from Subway actually committed pedophilia, which is illegal, and that's like the one thing I think that it's okay to like fuck with people's money on in that sense, especially if they use that money to like go after things and stuff like that. Does Destiny hate Bosch again? Who knows? I have no clue. I mean, I would, but Destiny's like forgiven that guy like 3 times already. And he probably sees it as like a possible, like, profitable business venture, so it's probably in his best interest to like not hold a continuous grudge on him. I don't know. I don't keep up with that. I think that would be really funny though if Destiny challenged Hassan to go out and do like political canvassing for like do IRL political advocations. Let me be me, Flake. Okay, I'll let you be you,
Recently
Channing.
arrested?
I think you had
I'm
nightmares.
saying don't. What
You
I'm
screamed
saying
a few
is
times.
by don't be
Really?
mean to them is that like
Don't
don't
worry.
actively
I'm
go out
accustomed
and
to
try
that
to
sort of
fuck
thing.
with them.
When Mitch and Scorpion came back from the war, they tossed and turned
think
night
so,
after night.
I like
For
when
months this
we
went
have
on.
people on. Okay.
Whatever it is,
It's
it'll pass.
Yeah. Let's hope so.
I'm a sweetheart, chat. Okay.
Come up with anything?
I just want people to
We're
be
home
as
and
sweet
I-
as me. Okay.
As a matter of fact,
I really like that.
I did.
Jared Holt really let himself go. How
Look
oh.
here.
Wait, is Jared Holt
Okay,
fat now?
tell me.
That's really funny.
We're the wrench. The
A
cutter
lot
is
of
the
wig
AV.
nats are really left
And
wing.
the screwdriver
No, I
is
think
where
they're
the
just a
AV
lot
should
of
bury
like
its nose cone in the
they're
dust.
a lot. They're really
Now, you must
left
be
like
wondering how we get the
not
AV to
socially
do that.
That old HMG of
economically
yours.
leaning.
My gun will be useful
That's
elsewhere.
where we get like
This
Nazgul,
caliber
right?
would barely dent the armor of a heavy
No, no.
hit
How many
like that.
how many of the wig nats
There
are
are other
Nazgul?
ways. Here, the clamps are solution. A satwave power station.
I don't keep up with them. We're
Hold up, one
trying
more
to
time.
like figure
Wrench
out
is our
all these
car,
people.
right?
Mm-hmm. The cutter is the AV. The screwdriver is where the AV should hit the ground. And the clamp is the satwave power station.
More than you think.
That is,
Wait,
the
so
net
he's
we
really
use to
fat
bring the
now?
AV
That's really
down.
funny. Hi, Gator.
Why down the AV
How you
there,
doing, buddy?
at that exact spot?
Because
You're up
once
at
it's
an
on the ground, we'll have to
ungodly
locate
time
it and
as
grab
me.
the target. As fast as we can. And the terrain there is typical California desert. Flat, dry, and empty. There'll be a big old sitting
Now,
duck.
Channy's a girl. Like, Channy has like a really,
Satwave
really
power
high-pitched
station?
feminine
Yes.
voice. What are you talking
We need to
about?
break into it.
Mm-hmm. So far, so good. But then what?
And then we strike. We hit
It's
the
okay
AV
though,
with
because
an
Channy
EMP.
won't ever.
Of course we do.
Channy
As soon as the
said
AV
that we
is
can
in
never
range,
be together
we
because
cause an
I'm a filthy
electromagnetic
goyim.
pulse.
Her words.
The
not
onboard
mine.
electronics should fail outright.
Meaning what? Engines will shut down?
Everything will
Oh.
shut down. Engines included. Drive, navigation, communication systems.
Channy's a femboy? I hope not. I got called a femboy by a
Remember,
schizophrenic
need home and
guy
alive,
who wears
unharmed.
clown makeup.
Gotta try
so.
not to blow the AV to bits, okay?
I enjoyed
know,
that though because
but
then
I'd
I
say
got
your
to
man
tag
best be
Dimitri
buckled in.
Monroe and it's like, oh man,
This idea,
no, I wish I could
it
be like
works. You'll be in
Dimitri
for a rough
Monroe and be
landing.
swimming in puss.
All right, let's ride.
Great.
Dimitri's a
Hop
nice
in.
guy. I like
It's
him.
cold out here.
I thought that was very respectful. I think that I think that went very well, and I think that
Owns
we
his power
had
station.
a very
Gov or corp?
Is there
we
any
had
difference?
we
Who do you think
we
pulls
had
the government strings?
although Okay,
I'm just
I will
wondering
say
whose
this. I
toes
was a
we're
little
about to
mean. I
step
did
all over.
insinuate that he was a useful idiot.
look
That was
around.
that
It
was
is
that was a
simple.
little uncouth
Everything
on my
you see
part,
is
and that
owned
was
by
a
a
little shitty
corporation.
on my part. You know what, that part I think was like really shitty.
And now for something
on my
completely
part.
different.
If I had to
Weirdest
critique
thing
anything
you've
that I
ever
think was a
transported.
failing on my
Go.
part, it would
For
be
me,
that.
I had to carry a real organic iguana once.
Seriously? A live one?
Yup. Someone put him in a deep sleep,
But
packed him in a cooler.
Channy like
no
flat
idea
out said
why,
the N word
man.
on
I made a
an
shitload
Among
off
Us
that job.
stream.
Your turn.
I wasn't
Think you
in
can
the
beat that?
call.
The deputy
We
finance
need to
director
play.
of
We need to
Calcons.
play Among Us with Sky Williams again.
I'd say it's a tie.
Did I get the woo flu? No, I'm just.
Dead.
It's late at
In the
night and
truck.
I'm talking
Okay,
very
fine,
lowly.
you win.
People keep on saying
You
like,
like
did
to
you get
mess
the
with the
woo
corpse,
flu?
huh?
I'm talking like a very
Whatever
low
gave you
voice.
that
I don't know
idea?
what to tell you.
Or wait, scratch that. Rogue, Nash, the Raffins.
You're on thin ice, B.
You just like to mess with everyone.
Well, then I suppose it's a good thing I'm on your side, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We've almost reached the dam. We'll make a quick stop here. We need to calibrate you with the turret.
All right, chat.
I
I'm
want you
gonna
to be able
call
to
this
use
a
the gun,
night.
too.
I am.
It should up our chances in general.
I am very tired and I am ready to go to bed. And
Connect
I
here.
got some stuff I need to do tomorrow. If
Do we really have to waste our time on this?
If
We do.
Seizure wants to
Unless you've
post
already used one of
his
these
Twitter
without
link
help,
or Twitch link,
while moving,
also
while
he's
taking
also
fire
on
from all
he's
directions,
also on
and still manage to
D
hit
Live.
something. But
He wants to
somehow,
post
I
his
don't
link
believe that's
again
the case.
because
So don't argue. Just
he
connect.
wants to be a cool dude. Wants to get some views. Go and click on his link right here, twitch.tv/praxisseizure. He's a good lad. Okay, he's a good lad. Also, Bosa says Stalin EPUH would gulag this guy for. Okay.
How should I connect?
Yeah,
Personal link?
we
How else?
get it, folks.
Just watch the jack. Sometimes you have to dig a little.
All right, I am going to
Wired in.
call it a night. I hope
Wait
you
a
guys
minute.
have
Diagnostics
a
first.
wonderful evening.
Shit, it keeps giving me
Guys,
an error.
take care.
God.
I hope you guys stay safe.
Let me work around it.
I hope you guys
And
stay
now,
kosher.
Pan
I hope
Am,
you guys stay
here's
beautiful.
Johnny.
I love
Out
you
in the
guys.
middle
Peace
of
out. Have a good
bumfuck
one.
nowhere.
Mwah. Bye.
Great work.
Hey, I think your implant has a virus. The one in the nape of your neck.
Wait, is Seizure on D Live?
I've got a bioprocessor in my head that operates independently of me. Probably why your
Oh, okay.
diagnostics flagged it.
Because he spells his name so
Okay.
But no data will
Wait,
leak
are you
out
on
of it to
D
the
Live
personal
Seizure?
link. You're right,
You should be.
secure.
What's your
Fine.
D Live handle?
I trust you won't fuck anything up. Okay. Here goes nothing. See that pile of junk? Fire a short burst into it. I'll take care of the calibration.
Oh, it's probably all caps because D Live's retarded.
Hey, if you'd rather daydream, please wait until we're done calibrating.
All right, later later lads. Have a good night. Go and say hi to Praxis. Oh, try restarting your stream with D Live and see if it goes live, Praxis.